Hello you guys, welcome back to another video on this here channel. As you guys can see by the title, today we have another story time. I don't know why, some reason, I think it's because the videos are like kind of recent. I'd be remembering what I named this specific boy in each story, so I'm gonna just reuse the same name if you guys have came from my most watched video. We have another story of the saga of dating Devin, okay? This is from dating the boy who didn't like me, beefing with my boyfriend's bestie. Y'all really like those story times, so here's another like literally hilarious story from that era, because I don't know who I was feeling like. 18-year-old Alicia, I don't know, she was just delusional, and we gonna jump right into it. Okay, so especially if you guys came from the beefing with my boyfriend's bestie, the climax of that story was specifically a sleepover at his house when his dusty best friend had started living with him. Okay, and 18 years old, 18, not in high school, in college. Okay, I'm born in November, so I stay younger than like most of my class. So I was 18 my whole freshman year of college. I started my freshman year of college at 17. The people with late birthdays in the year can understand. He also had a late birthday because he was a Virgo man. Okay, but it was both our first times having like couple sleepovers. Well, his first one that his mama knew about. But I already let his mama know that when I got mad at him. But wait. If you guys want that story, I'll plug it there. But anyway, anytime I mention this man, mother was heaven sent. Mother was heaven sent. I hate when these like dusty men who have a different mind from what they're raised from act out, because his mom was so nice. Like I remember his mom was like very open, right? Like she had let him date like in middle school and high school, you know, to like appropriate age range. She seemed like a very open mom, but like I said, he had never, like his girlfriends would come over in high school and stuff, but just like not sleepover. But like with me, I remember he was just saying like, bro, what, he would always just be like, bro, what is wrong with my mom? Like, what is wrong with, like, why does she like you so much? Like before she even met me, he was always just like, or he would always just say she was always like super positive about me already, just from seeing pictures, just being like, oh, you're so giddy and she's so pretty and I want to meet her. And like to the point of like the first time I ever came to their house, because I think I mentioned before, this was like a medium distance, not even medium, but I didn't have a car or a license at the time. He drove, but he lived about like an hour and 30 minutes away from me. We would see each other like once a week, but he would always just come here and hang out with me. And when he wanted me to eventually come to like where he lived at, like he showed me some stuff around where he lives. We hung out at his house and stuff. But when we first came to his house, his mom was at work, so I'll be like meeting her later. So I met her, but even like when I met her, when he knew I was coming, she was all like, oh, like is Alicia gonna stay over, like stay the night? He said he was so gagged. He was like, she has never ever entertained the thought of like letting a girl sleep over. Like that gagged me. Like I was like, no, I didn't even know that was an option. Like she was just so open from the jump. When I met her, she was so sweet, so nice, so welcoming. She seemed so excited to have me. But like I said, how normally when you live at home, you gotta like test those boundaries and see what's tea. She already put that. I don't know if it's like because there was a distance or she just really liked me or whatever, but I think I probably came over to his house like a couple times, and then eventually you would tell two 18-year-olds that they can't start having sleepovers. We're on that, like and especially like because he lived far, like I would come stay the weekend, stay like 2 nights and stuff like that. And she was really sweet, and like I said, again, for two teenagers, it was literally like the perfect setup, because his mom was super hardworking. She worked like overnight, so she would leave the house at like 8, 9, something like that, and then she would come back like literally like 12 hours later in the morning. So it was literally like playing house, right? So that's what I was doing like towards the end I want to say, yeah, like towards the end of my freshman year of college is when I had like my first sleepover vibes with a man. But as you guys know, and this is the crazy thing too, y'all. I know you guys are gonna gag when I say this. I know bro was gagging, he was dating me because I was going to school in the COVID era. So I was staying on campus, but it was still a lot of COVID restrictions. Like people who aren't going to the school can't come over. Like barely anyone should be coming over. Did they have any way to fact check that or anything? Really? Not really. But Alicia was a goody two shoes kid. This is like my first relationship, y'all. I literally never even had this man in my place when I had a place. When I had a place. When I had a place. Like, it's so crazy thinking about how many sleepovers and stuff like that could have been earlier, but I was literally just like so scared of like my parents are paying for this, like they say if it happens it's like automatically you get kicked out. I was just so scared I never even entertained that, which was crazy. But anyway, so yeah, towards the end is when we started doing sleepovers and stuff like that. But as you guys know, when the college year comes to an end, I had to get up out of my dorm place and move back home for the summer, right? So obviously, like now that I was back, I had been in college for a year. Like it wasn't like I had to stop hanging out with him or like couldn't still go to his house and have sleepovers because like that barrier was already broken when I moved out of the house. But I was literally thinking, y'all, in my delusional 18-year-old mind, okay, not too crazy. Because if you guys watched my last story time when I talked about like how strict it was dating and how I had one boyfriend before this for like a couple months in high school. And he came over like once downstairs and played video games with me a little bit. I already knew, like I already knew my house, now moved back home, was never gonna be the place like how Devin's house was, like open pad, super nice. Yeah, have her over whenever, have her over how long. It was never gonna be like that over here. But I don't know why, like in my delusional teenage mind, I was like, she's so chill. Y'all know, like testing boundaries, because I really didn't like test much. Like when I lived at home, like I said, I was goody two shoes down to the T. Like I said, even in college, not letting my boyfriend in my dorm. Like that's kind of crazy. But by this point, I do not remember if, wait, no, I think a couple of my family members had met Devin before, right? Yeah, they had met Devin before. So I remember he was gonna come down and hang out with me like a couple days after I moved back in the house. And I was like, yeah, I want you to like come see like my childhood room and stuff. And I was like I wish like it was like so chill like at your house. Like I said, I knew I was never gonna ask for this man to sleep over or anything like that. But I was like, what if you just like come over like before we leave and stuff, and you just like help me put my stuff back in my room, and then maybe we could like just like chill in here for a little bit and like guys, I'm sorry. Anytime I tell this story, I just think of my sister like bust out laughing when I told her, okay, we'll get there, we'll get there, we'll get there. So the day comes where we hang out. I think this day, explaining for context of what I'm about to say, I was actually tired this day. Like I think he had came and picked me up and we went to like a trampoline park or something. Then we came back in, like I said, my parents were here and everything. And I was like, hey, like he was yapping to my mom and stuff. And I was like, can Devin like help me bring the rest of the stuff up from my dorm? Like, is that cool? And my mom was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, okay. Come see my childhood room. Like, come see the blue walls. The wall. He came up and like I said, I'm not stupid. Like, I was just trying to test the limits. Like, wait, like, can he come hang over here or what? So he comes in. Like, I leave the door wide open. He brings the stuff because it was like buckets of stuff, right? This man was big, strong football player, like 6'2". Up with me, I'm like, yeah, this the room you be seeing on FaceTime now, not the new room, whatever. He put some stuff down, and then like I said, y'all, I'm such a calculated, control the outcome Scorpio freak. I literally had already explained this before to him, so we were up here, I was just yapping, and then I was like, okay, so let's like watch TV or something. So I turn on like Victorious or something. Y'all, again, like I knew not to test my boundaries. Like I was just so delusional, but like Yeah, we just door wide open, like on top of the covers, like laid down, not cuddling. And then we just started watching TV. Like, y'all, we were literally laying in the bed, like dead bodies, like, because I knew not to play, but I was like already low key playing by trying this. When I tell you we were there for probably like 10 minutes, I'm kind of like closing my eyes too because I legit was tired from the trampoline park. First person that walks by, because like I said, the door is wide open. I see I see my dad walk by, and when I tell you guys, like I know how so many people grow up with the opposite in the house. My parents are like an opposites attract couple. Like my mom, like this is why I am the loud, opinionated woman I am, y'all. Like in my house, it was like mom called the shots. Dad was normally just chilling, like, yeah, okay, ask your mom. Like even like with dating and stuff, I feel like my mom was like more of like the protective one. Like I'm sure obviously my dad just didn't like say it out loud a lot. Like okay, so anyways, I saw him walk by, didn't say anything, didn't like look, nothing. Like I feel like he walked by like the door was closed. He clearly didn't give maybe like 5 minutes in, maybe like 5 minutes in, my mom walks by. I see her, oh, I see her walk by. Y'all, I see neck broke. I literally see like a, but the crazy thing is like when I saw that, kind of like, ooh, right? But she didn't come in or anything. She just walked by and like walked back downstairs. Okay, so I'm like, wait, test passed. Also, remember, like I said, I think we had, he had like school the next day or something. Somewhere we had like a timer, like we're gonna be in my house for like 30 minutes and then go back out, get our food so we could like wrap up our day of dates or whatever. So this makes sense for later. So probably like 2 minutes after that, I hear, Alicia. Okay, but and honestly, it didn't sound like angry or anything. It kind of just sounded like I was summoned. So I get up, I go downstairs, and it's like for my mom, obviously, like I know her voice or whatever. And surprisingly, surprisingly, she doesn't look mad, but she definitely looks like confused, confuzzled. And I think she just starts asking me, like, I just remember she was asking me about random stuff. It wasn't straight up like, why are y'all laying in bed? It was like, oh, what time is like Devin going back home? Or like, where did you guys say you were gonna go again or something? Like, after like 2 minutes in, I was just like, yeah, I was just like answering her questions. And Devin comes downstairs and he's like, oh, our timer went off, like, to go get the food. And I was like, okay, bye. I know to other people who had strict parents or like some parents who probably would have like walked in and yanked them if they saw something like that. Cause you guys know like in some cultures how like especially like with religious influence, it don't matter what age you are, if you're not married or whatever, like I don't know what I was thinking, y'all. Like I was just like, test the limits, like it's so cool and chill at my boyfriend's house. Let's see. So we basically just like dipped out, right? And then in the car, like me and Devin were talking about it. And I was like, wow, like he was asking me like, well, what'd she say like when she called you down and stuff? And I was like, she didn't really say anything. Like she was just asking me about random stuff. But I was like, okay, cool. So sometimes when you come down, maybe we can come and like chill in my room, like since they didn't like say anything yet. Yo, yo. Probably like 15 minutes into going to get the food, I get a ding on my phone. I get a thing on my phone, I get a notification, and it says from mom, right? And I open it, and it's a paragraph. Right. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. I had to think something was coming eventually. And also, this is so funny because I think I got this comment on one of my videos when I was mentioning the sleepovers that I would be having with Devin at 18 years old, and someone was like, this was a Caucasian household, wasn't it? Wait, hold up, y'all. That's what it gave? No. He was black. That was a black household. She was a single mom with him. He was the youngest, and her older daughter. And she was just chill. Like, I don't know if it was just because he was the youngest or what. Like, trust me, I was surprised too. And like he said, he was surprised too because she ain't never been that chill. But again, maybe it's just a mix of him being the youngest and us being like in college now, kind of, kind of already knowing. Actually, not really. Not really, y'all. I remember this one time I felt so bad because I really did love his mom, and I just remember like how his mom would talk about us like when she had a birthday party and stuff. She would always be like, "These are my babies. These are my little ones. These are my innocent ones." Like I remember when she started like with her friend, she was like, "Y'all got to get up out the backyard. Like these are the babies." Whole time. No, but I remember one time, like I said, I'd already been around her always talking about us like that. But I remember one time he said he was at a family event and his uncles were trying to like give him a talk about like having a girlfriend and stuff like that. Being weird. Some of these conversations that men be talking about older men having with them just sound so strange. Like I just remember it was one conversation that was just weird. And his mom was nearby and interjected or whatever. And she was like, "No, no. Those are babies. Like my boy is like a Christian boy. I know he's waiting to marriage. I'm not even worried about that." Whole time us every time she went to work at night. Dang, when she said that, I low-key felt so bad. Like, dang, girl. But it's okay. Like, she had to have figured it out eventually. But she was chill. So anyway, the text read, she was basically like, I don't have a problem with Devin, coming over here and stuff, but next time you say he's gonna help you put some stuff away, like, it should just be that. Like, don't be having him up here, you guys laying across the bed, like, da 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 da. Understandable. Like I said, me looking back at 23 years old, understandable. Like maybe she was like sparing me because he was there. Like I don't know. Again, like I said, I feel like it was very hard because I'm like the youngest daughter in the family, and like it was like hard. I feel like for like my mom especially, even when I like went to school and got a first boyfriend and stuff. But I do like low key understand because I'm like I low key should have could have just been like, could he hang out in here or whatever, but. I don't know. I was just in my little delusional teenage mind. I was like, maybe step after step, it can low key get more chill. It was never gonna give. It was never gonna give that. Like, she kind of spared me. She kind of spared me, and I was basically just like, okay, like, okay, got it. Man, when I showed Devin that, he looked like so nervous. He was like, man, I already knew from the way she like double took. And when I tell you guys too, like I said, I was like so delusional for trying it, but it like really wasn't crazy. Like I wasn't up in there like cuddling or we were literally laying next to each other like inch apart. Like I already knew. But that's why in conclusion, it's always the man's house. And no shade, this isn't like shade to Devin's mom. I said she was like really cool and stuff, but like with other men also, a lot of times there's a whole double standards between sons and daughters too. So the the parents of the sons don't even give a fuck. So I feel like naturally it'd be like that. Like yeah, because even in my next relationship, I was like that guy's first sleepover too. I don't know, guys. I just have the parent family charm. Low key, low key. But yeah, y'all, have you ever tried it? See, this is why I say too that I was like a good kid, or I guess I was moving out of the kid phase by then. But I'm like, I see, when I was a teen, I did normal stuff, like I tried stuff like that. I never tried to sneak anyone in without anyone knowing, or when people were gone. Like, I wouldn't even do that now. There's so many stories of people being like, everyone has snuck someone in before, everyone has done. I had parents with common sense because I would never even try that. But I just remember when I told my sister about that, like on FaceTime, she was laughing and cackling so hard and was like, bro, like, you're different. If you guys see the video with my sister, she's the oldest and the oldest daughter at that. She's like, you're so crazy for even trying that. Like, I'm so weak. Like, she was just like laughing at the text, at the story. Yeah. But anyways, thank you guys so much for listening to another story time. I hope it gave you a little giggle. If you have a little experience or something similar when you tested the limits, don't be shy. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Check out my socials linked down below. Because guys, I be putting polls like I did today of like which story times you want next, what topics you want for podcast episodes. Someone also requested the diaspora wars last time. I give y'all what I'm supposed to give. So keep up with that. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.